Hey YouTube, this is Ben Gussel. How's it going? Um, just to make a quick video here about my current thoughts about um, a lot of rumors that are circulating about pedophilia in Hollywood, and I'm aware of the subject. I'm aware of who's being accused. So this is kind of going to be a quick video about my current thoughts about um, who is being accused of pedophilia still, or who is, my opinion, people that have done things that are wrong, but or likely have done things that are wrong, but haven't been prosecuted, that are still alive. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about a few people that have been deceased that have definitely been bad boys. Jimmy Savile is one of these guys. He's among the worst. Michael Jackson, I have to be honest, I want to believe that he's innocent, but it's more than 50% likely that he was guilty of what he did. However, I don't really entirely blame him alone. I believe his dad had a big part of, Michael Jackson's dad had a big part of why he is, a lot of the problems he had. So, those guys, right off the bat, I hate Savile. I can't stand him. And Michael Jackson, I'm more understanding of. But it's, again, more than 50% likely that he did what he did, considering everything that I've seen and read about him. Hate to say it. But I still hold some hope for him, in some form or another, especially in regard to his dad being abusive toward him and that influencing what he did. And not having a chance to grow up and things like that. So, the other guys that are being accused of pedophilia, or something along those lines. Charlie Sheen is definitely a womanizer. Is he a pedophile? Nobody knows yet, but I'm having seen the things about Corey Haim. What Charlie Sheen likely did to Corey Haim on the set of Lucas. Yeah, Charlie Sheen I could definitely see in that child predator ballpark. As much as I want to like Charlie Sheen, I have to admit he's a dirty man. And Steven Spielberg, boy, that's the big one, right? That's the one that everybody's talking about. Everyone's assuming that Corey Feldman, the guy he's not naming, is Steven Spielberg. Well, I know this much. Seth MacFarlane is suspicious of him, or knows. People say he knows something we don't. My heart wants to believe he's innocent, but my mind is increasingly not so convinced. So I'm going to have to say I'm 25% convinced at this point that Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. 75% believing he's fine. But that's my heart speaking. What my mind is actually saying is I'm increasingly closer to 40 to 50% being convinced that he is a pedophile. Steven Spielberg. Yep. And it's not just the Heather O'Rourke thing. That's a big one. But it's also what's happened. It's a story having to do with Christian Bale's supposed his friend from England. That there's a story I've heard about that, and there's many other things in addition to Seth MacFarlane stuff and the Goonies cartoon in South Park. but that one really kills me because I grew up with Spielberg movies. That's the one that's really gonna kill everybody when it comes out. Which, I can see it happening. Now, Woody Allen is a pedophile, in my estimation. And actually, you can see pedophilia written all over his eyes, his face. It's unmistakable. The man is seriously, seriously perverted. I don't. You don't even have to. Anyway, it's like, where do you start? Practically all of the movies he's ever made or he's been involved with, or vast majority of them have been beyond Freudian, perverse, just sick. We all know what he's been accused of doing. I know people have stood up for him. I don't fault the people that have stood up for Woody Allen, but it's very apparent. It's very apparent Woody Allen has got some issues. I don't want to hate the man. Again, I don't want to think ill of anyone. But, well, Jimmy Savile is disgusting. I actually have no pity for Savile. I'll put it that way. All these other guys are, in my opinion, better men than Savile. More or less. It's my estimation. So, who else? Well, Roman Polanski was going to be tried in court for something. Went to Europe, fled the prosecution. So, in my estimation, he's actually been convicted. So it's no mystery that Roman Polanski is many, many, many evil things. Yeah. And another rumor I've heard. There are probably many. I can't talk about them all in this video. There's a lot of rumors going around about Tom Hanks being a pedophile. That one I find harder to believe, but not impossible. Particularly, he's been in so many good guy roles. He's been in so many, so many roles where we see him as very much a family man kind of guy. And kind of like Spielberg, this is why it's harder to see him in this light. But I'm not ignoring the accusations that are against Tom Hanks. And I don't ignore what my spirit tells me when I see him. But I'm I'm only 10% convinced that he's actually a pedophile. Very much not convinced. But still a little bit. There's something. It could be that he is aware of many. It could be that he's guilty of lesser crimes than some of these other guys, but I don't know yet. So Tom Hanks, I really don't know. For all the other people I've heard of rumors of regarding pedophilia in Hollywood, we already know about Harvey Weinstein. He's guilty, of course, of a lot of stuff. It's very bad. And there's other, a lot of the big studio executives. I don't know, probably similar in that respect. But that's about about what I wanted to mention in this video. So of all these guys that have been accused of pedophilia, my heart doesn't want to believe anything bad about Spielberg or Hanks, especially. But of those two, it's that more likely that Spielberg has got some stuff that isn't quite right about him. Spielberg has a lot of sides to his psyche. I know he wanted to be the Stanley Kubrick in a way. He wanted to be more like Stanley Kubrick. And Stanley Kubrick wanted to be more successful, like Spielberg was. And Spielberg wanted to be more artistically amazing, like Kubrick was. I would use the term emotionally honest. brutally so with Stanley Kubrick's movies, but yeah, avoid using the J word here, folks, because I don't want to approach the ethnicity side of all this, but with directors in Hollywood and stuff. But the thing is Stanley Kubrick, in fact, is a very interesting guy as well. I'm 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 fairly certain that he's innocent of this sort of thing, but there's no guarantees. And I'm very much like Stanley Kubrick, but yeah, I mean, there's sides to these directors, man. Steven Spielberg, in making AI, there's a side to him that wanted to. I'm sure I'm going to butcher his words, but he wanted people to feel something deep down inside that was not pleasant with AI. And that was one of the reasons my family and I just got up and left the theater when we were seeing that movie. It was shockingly different from E.T. And you could say this is just a darker movie that Spielberg made, like War of the Worlds or something. Well, there's a side to Spielberg that is darker, and it can be hard to see. There are many people in the public eye that we can definitely see more evil in than Spielberg, but I'm not saying it's not there. I mean, it may be there. It's one thing's for sure. Even though Stephen King wanted, maybe he has a lot of things about him that are not good at all. My feeling that there's a point to which Stephen King won't go beyond. And the craziest notion is to believe that Steven Spielberg would go beyond that. He's just not a writer; he's a director. But we live in crazy times, folks. Weird times. And this is just a short list of many people that may be involved in this stuff. And even though Corey Feldman's been on drugs and things, and you see people like Randy Quaid that are going crazy, supposedly, but going crazy, and whatever. Even though, what am I trying to say? You can't deny that there's something going on about Hollywood and about the world in general right now that's getting more wicked and evil. I want to refrain from ever accusing any men that are innocent of anything bad, but I just can't not talk about this. There are some people, as I mentioned, Woody Allen and Roman Polanski and there's some people that I know have been really bad guys, done really bad things. I want to maintain someone's innocence until it's clear that they're not innocent. Anyway, you guys leave in thoughts and comments below. Catch you guys later. Take care. Bye.